Now more than ever, keeping up with the world means keeping up with computer technology and software. The PC Video Collection is proud to present this video tutorial.
Welcome to this video tutorial, Learning Windows 95 Advanced. I'm Catherine Sparks, along with Virgil Ritchie.
Whether you launch an application, switch tasks, or find a file, you can use Windows 95 and efficiently manage your system.
If you recently became a computer user, Windows 95 friendly interface will help you perform complex tasks quickly and easily.
Windows 95 helps you with tasks such as defragmentation and hardware installation also.
In this video, we'll rename a shortcut and we'll display custom desktop wallpaper.
We'll minimize all of our open windows. We'll install Microsoft Fax and Exchange. Then we'll install a modem.
We'll send, receive, and view a fax. We'll use the cover page editor. We'll explain WordPad and the clipboard.
We'll use the clipboard viewer. We'll discuss and use the phone dialer.
We'll explain the disk defragmenter.
We'll install Windows Backup. Finally, we'll backup and restore files.
Our tutorial computer is an Intel 486DX with 8 megabytes of RAM. We're using a Microsoft mouse and a Microsoft Natural keyboard.
We installed Windows 95 over Windows 3.1 and DOS 6.2. We assume you know the basics of Windows 3.1 and Windows 95.
If you'd like to review, refer to the tutorial Learning Windows 95 Introduction.
We'll demonstrate Windows 95 with the Microsoft Office application. Windows 95 offers several methods, such as the Explorer or My Computer, to copy files from one place to another.
However, if you feel more comfortable using the Windows 3.1 File Manager, you can use it too.
Let's create a shortcut to the File Manager, then use it to copy our Learning Disk files onto the hard drive. We begin at the Windows 95 desktop. First, let's move to the Windows directory. We open My Computer by double-clicking its icon. We display the Go-To list. Then choose C. We scroll the window and display the Windows folder. We open this folder by double-clicking it and see the group window. We scroll this window downward until we see WinFile. It has a file cabinet icon. Let's create the shortcut. We place the pointer on the icon. Then we click the right mouse button and display the shortcut menu. We choose Create Shortcut. We now see the shortcut to WinFile icon. Let's place the icon on the desktop. Then we place the pointer on this icon. We drag the mouse to the bottom of the desktop. Then we release the mouse. We close all windows by clicking the X in their upper right corner. Next, let's place the Learning Disk files on the hard drive. We place the disk in the proper drive. Ours is A. We double-click the shortcut to WinFile icon. Then we see the File Manager window. With the C folder open, we make a new folder by choosing File, then Create Directory. We type in all capital letters, Advanced. Then we press Enter. We open the Advanced folder by double-clicking it. Now let's view our Learning Disk files. We click the A drive symbol. We want to copy all of our files, so we place the pointer on the A folder. We drag the folder to the C drive symbol. We release the mouse, answer yes to the prompt, and Windows 95 copies our files into the Advanced folder. Now we display the C drive by clicking its symbol. And we see our files. We cannot make a shortcut for the advanced folder from the File Manager, so we'll create one from My Computer. We close the File Manager. We remove the learning disk from the floppy drive. We open My Computer. Now we display the Go-To list. We choose C. Now we place our folder in the root directory, the hard drive's main directory. Now we scroll the window until we see the folder. We place the pointer on the Advanced folder, and we display the shortcut menu. We choose Create Shortcut. We place the pointer on the Shortcut to Advanced icon. We drag this icon to the desktop. We release the mouse, and then close the C window. Let's rename our advanced shortcut. We place the pointer on this icon. We display the shortcut menu. Then we choose Rename. With the insertion point in the icon text area, we type in all capital letters, Learning Folder. We deselect the text by pressing Enter. Windows 95 provides several types of predefined wallpaper and patterns we can use to customize our desktop.
However, we display our own custom desktop wallpaper by using Paint, a program in Windows 95. Let's use a file from our Learn folder and display a custom desktop.
Also, let's open Paint from a file. We open the Learning folder. We double-click the desktop icon. We see the Paint program, then our file. You can open any bitmap file in this manner. The Windows 95 Paint program replaces the Windows 3.1 Paintbrush program and has some exciting features. It's easy to float the Paint toolbar. We place the pointer on the toolbar's border. Then we drag the mouse and the outline to the center of the window. We release the mouse and see the floating toolbar. We can float the color palette also. We repeat the steps we use to float the toolbar. Let's dock the toolbar on the right side of the window. We place the pointer on the toolbar's title bar. We drag the mouse to the right side. We release the mouse. We can only dock the color palette at the top or bottom of the window. Let's display it at the top. We place the pointer on its title bar. We drag the mouse to the top of the window. Then we release the mouse and see the new position. Let's view all of our bitmap. We choose View and select View Bitmap and see the entire graphic. We return to the Paint window by clicking the mouse. We can view greater detail of our graphic with the Zoom feature. Let's try it. We choose View. We highlight Zoom and see a pop-up menu. We select Custom. We can choose 5 different settings. We click the radio button in front of 400%. We select OK, and we see the change. Now we scroll the vertical and horizontal scroll bars until we see some text. We can use the thumbnail window as a preview window. We choose the View menu, then Zoom. Then select Show Thumbnail. Let's enlarge the thumbnail window. We place the pointer on the right side. We drag the mouse to the right. When we can see all of the VIA Graphics text, we release the mouse. Let's return the graphic to its normal size. We choose View, highlight Zoom, and from the pop-up menu, we select Normal Size. Let's set our bitmap file as the desktop wallpaper. We choose File, then Set as Wallpaper Centered. Let's view our new desktop by minimizing all windows. We place the pointer on the taskbar. We display the shortcut menu. We choose Minimize All Windows. Now we see our new desktop. Let's view our desktop properties. With the pointer in the desktop center, we click the right mouse button. We choose Properties. And we see our desktop file in the wallpaper list and in the miniature monitor. Remember, you can use properties to specify a screensaver and change the appearance of your windows and message boxes. You can adjust the size of your desktop also. Now we choose Cancel, and we return to the desktop.
Pause the tape now to practice on your computer. Let's review what we've covered in this chapter. We created a shortcut to the File Manager. We used it to install our Learning Disk files.
We renamed a shortcut. We opened a bitmap file in Paint, and we floated the Paint toolbar and palette, then docked them.
We changed our graphics views. We set our file as desktop wallpaper, and finally we viewed our desktop's properties.
If we have a modem, we can use Microsoft Fax and Microsoft Exchange to send and receive faxes.
Also, Microsoft Fax lets us send faxes we create in programs such as Microsoft Word. Our fax messages appear in Microsoft Exchange, then we can view or print them.
We made a typical installation of Windows 95 and did not install Microsoft Fax or Microsoft Exchange. Let's install these components now. We choose the Start button. We highlight Settings. We select the Control panel. Now we open Add Remove Programs. We choose the Windows Setup tab. Then we place a check mark in front of Microsoft Exchange and Microsoft Fax. We choose OK and see these components loaded into Windows 95. Now we see the Inbox Setup wizard. We have not used Microsoft Exchange before. With No selected, we choose the Next button. We do not want to use Microsoft Mail or CompuServe Mail with Microsoft Exchange, so we remove the check mark from each option. Then we choose Next. We want to send faxes using a modem connected to our computer. With this option selected, we choose Next. We see the Install New Modem box.
We're installing an external 14.4 BOCA modem. We connect the modem to our computer and telephone line, then turn it on. We also attach a telephone to the phone plug in our modem.
We want Windows 95 to detect our modem, so we leave the Don't Detect option blank. We choose the Next button. Windows finishes the detection, and we see a BOCA 28.8 modem. Our modem is 14.4, not a 28.8, so we need to change it. We choose the Change button. We scroll the manufacturer's list. Then highlight BOCA Research. We have a Model 1440E. We double-click this model and return to the Verify Modem box. Now we choose the Next button. We see the Setup Successfully message. Now we choose the Finish button and return to the Inbox Setup wizard. We plan to receive voice calls on this line, so we accept the No default. Then we choose Next. Now we enter our fax number. And once again choose Next. We do not want to add the inbox to the startup group, so we accept the default of No and once again choose Next. We see the Done message and choose the Finish button. Windows 95 updates the Start menu and we return to the desktop. We close the control panel. Let's initialize our modem by restarting Windows 95. We choose the Start button and select Shutdown. We choose the Restart option and select Yes. Windows updates our configuration files and we see the desktop. Now let's create a fax. We open Microsoft Exchange by double-clicking the inbox icon. We choose Compose from the menu bar. Then we highlight New Fax. We see a fax machine icon in the right corner of the taskbar. When we place the pointer on it, we see Idle. We accept the default location. This screen is primarily for people using a laptop computer. We choose Next. We want to send a fax to the ViaGraphics Communications Director. We add him to the address book by choosing the Address Book button. We type his name in the To line. We type the fax number in the fax line. Then we choose the Next button. We can choose from one of 4 default cover pages. With General Purpose highlighted, we select Next. In the subject line, we type Windows 95 Advanced Video Tape. We place the insertion point in the Notes section by pointing and clicking. Then we type a short note. We choose the Next button. If we want, we can attach one or more files to our message. We choose Next. We're ready to send our fax, so we select the Finish button and return to the Microsoft Exchange window. We see the Microsoft Fax status box. We see our file sent. Now let's receive a fax. We hear the phone ring. Remember, we did not choose automatic answer, so we need to answer it. We click the fax icon in the taskbar and see the Microsoft Fax status box. We choose the Answer Now button. We see the fax received. Then the fax status box closed. We see a new icon beside the fax machine. When we place the pointer on it, the tooltip says we have new mail. We see the fax in the Microsoft Exchange inbox. Let's view the fax. We double-click it and see the fax viewer. Let's zoom our image. We choose Zoom, then 100%. And we see the fax cover sheet. We see that our pointer is changed into a hand. We can use the mouse to drag the hand and grab or move the sheet up or down. We drag the mouse to the left and read the rest of the message. Now we close the fax viewer. Your fax will stay in your inbox until you delete it. Let's delete it now. With our fax highlighted, we choose File, then Delete.
By default, Microsoft Exchange places deleted mail from the inbox or outbox in a deleted items folder. Let's have a look at the mail we just deleted.
We display the folder list by choosing the Show Hide Folder List button. It's the second one from the left. We open the deleted items folder and see our mail. Now let's permanently delete this item. We highlight it, then we choose File, then Delete. Then we answer yes to the prompt. We hide the folder list by selecting the Show Hide button again.
You may pause the tape now to practice on your computer.
We can create our own cover page with the Cover Page Editor. Let's take a look. We minimize Microsoft Exchange. We choose the Start button. We highlight Programs, then Accessories. We highlight Fax, and see the pop-up menu. If you use a fax information service, Request a Fax will help you retrieve a document or file. Microsoft Fax will place the retrieved data in your inbox. We select Cover Page Editor and see the Page Editor window. We choose OK. Now we maximize this window. We can place fields on our cover page. Then the Cover Page Editor fills the fields with information from the User section in Fax Setup. The editor fills any recipient fields with information from our address book. Let's create a cover page. First, let's create some text. We click the Text button. It has an A-B on it. We see our pointer change into a crosshair. We place the crosshair in the upper left corner of the page. We drag the mouse down and to the right and create a frame. We release the mouse. With the insertion point blinking in the frame, we type in all capital letters, Via Graphics Fax Cover Sheet. Let's change the font and its size. We highlight the text by dragging the mouse. We display the font name menu. Then choose Impact. We display the font size menu. We choose 24. Let's adjust the size of our frame. We select it by clicking anywhere on its border. We place the pointer on the bottom center handle. When we see the pointer change into a double-headed arrow, we drag the mouse upward. When properly sized, we release the mouse. We deselect the frame by pointing and clicking in a blank area. Let's insert some sender fields. We choose Insert. We highlight Sender and see the Sender pop-up menu. We can select any of 9 fields. We choose Name and see the sender name on the cover page. When we move this pointer into the sender name field, we see a 4-headed arrow symbol beside the pointer. This symbol means we can move this field anywhere we want on the cover page. With the pointer on the field, we drag the mouse down. Then we release the mouse. Let's use the sender name text. With the From and Sender Name fields still selected, we display the Font Size menu. We select 10 and see the change. We deselect these fields by pointing and clicking in a blank area. Now let's add some more fields. We add the sender fax number and recipient name by using the Insert menu. We reposition the fields by dragging the mouse. Let's create a border around the Via Graphics text. We choose the rounded rectangle button. It's the fifth one from the left in the second row. We place the crosshair above and to the left of Via Graphics. Then we drag the mouse and enclose the text. Now we release the mouse and we deselect the frame. We can print this cover page or we can save it. Let's save it. We choose the Save button. It's the third from the left on the first row. Now let's place this file on our Advanced folder. We display the Save In menu. We choose the C icon and we double-click the Advanced folder. Now we highlight the file name line and we type Tutorial. Then choose Save. We close the cover page editor. Now let's add our cover page to our list of fax cover pages. We restore Microsoft Exchange. We choose Tools from the menu bar, then Options. Now we select the Services tab. With Microsoft Fax highlighted, we choose the Properties button. With the Send Cover Page option selected, we choose the Browse button. We change the Look-In menu to C. We open the Advanced folder. We double-click Tutorial and see it in the cover page list. We choose OK twice and return to the Exchange window. Let's open the Compose Fax Wizard. We choose Compose, then New Fax. We select Next. We type a name, then the phone number. Now we choose the Next button again. We see our tutorial cover page listed. We select Cancel and return to the Exchange window. Now we close Microsoft Exchange.
You may pause the tape now. Let's review what we've covered in this chapter. We installed Microsoft Fax and Exchange.
Then we installed an external modem. We composed a fax, then sent it. We received a fax, then viewed it.
We deleted mail. Then we used the cover page editor and created a cover page.
Finally, we placed our cover page in our list of cover pages.
Windows 95 contains Notepad, a program that was also in Windows 3.1.
We can use Notepad for creating or editing text files that are 64 kilobytes or smaller in size.
Keep in mind, though, that Notepad saves files in the ASCII text-only format.
When we need to create or edit files that are larger than 64 kilobytes, we can use WordPad, a mini word processor included with Windows 95.
We can open different document types in WordPad, including Word for Windows 6.0, Windows Write, Rich Text Format, text documents, and MS-DOS text documents.
We display the Start menu. We highlight Programs, then Accessories. We choose WordPad. Now let's open our Word 6.0 file. We choose File, then Open. With Desktop displayed in the Look-In list, we double-click the Learning folder. We double-click WordPad Sample and see the text. We can see a tooltip for any WordPad toolbar button. We place the pointer on the last one in the first row. We see Date Time. Also, we see a longer button description on WordPad's status bar. Let's change our text font and size. We highlight the last sentence by dragging the mouse. We display the font drop-down menu. We display Matura MT script. Let's change the font size. We display the font size drop-down menu. We choose 14. Now let's change the text color. We select the color button. It has a palette on it. Then we choose the blue swatch. We remove the highlight by pointing and clicking in a blank area. Now let's save the changes. Let's choose the Save button. It has a floppy diskette on it. We see a message telling us that WordPad does not support all of Word 6.0 features. Let's save our file under another name. We select the Save As button. And at the file name line, we type WordPad Sample. We press Enter, and WordPad saves our file. Now let's insert the date and time into our document. We place the insertion point before our document's first word by pointing and clicking. We create two blank lines by pressing Enter twice. We move the insertion point to the first line by pressing the up arrow cursor key twice. Now we choose the Date Time button. It's the last one in the first row. At the Date and Time box, we highlight the desired format. We choose OK and see today's date. You can use the Windows clipboard with most Windows applications, including WordPad.
We use the clipboard to cut or copy text and graphics from one application to another. Keep in mind we can only place one item at a time in the clipboard.
Let's copy some text to the clipboard. We have not selected any text or graphics yet, so we see the dimmed cut and copy buttons. We highlight the last line by dragging the mouse. Then we release the mouse. We see our Now Active button on the toolbar. We choose the Copy button. It's the 8th one from the left. We're finished with WordPad, so we close it. We answer yes to the Save Changes prompt, and we return to the desktop.
Let's view and save our clipboard contents with the Clipboard Viewer.
We select the Start button. We highlight Programs, then Accessories. We choose Clipboard Viewer and see our WordPad text. Remember, the clipboard can only hold one item at a time. If we cut or copy other text or graphics to the clipboard, we will lose this text. Now let's save it. We choose File, then Save As. We change the path to C:\\Advanced. We highlight the text in the file name line by dragging the mouse. We release the mouse. Then we type sample1.clp. We press Enter. And let's clear the clipboard viewer. We choose Edit, then Delete. We answer Yes to the Clear Contents prompt.
You may pause the tape now.
Earlier, we minimized the Paint window. Let's restore it and place our graphic into the clipboard. We restore the Paint program by clicking on its taskbar button. We select the graphic by choosing Edit, then select All. We see two icons below the toolbar. We can copy our graphic using two different modes. If we want our graphic copy to cover any existing picture, we choose the top icon. Choosing the bottom icon will create a transparent graphic. In other words, we will see any existing picture through our picture. We want our graphic to be opaque, so we choose the top icon. Let's copy our graphic to the clipboard. We select Edit, then Copy. We close Paint. We see our bitmap graphic in the clipboard viewer. Let's save the graphic. We choose File, then Save As. With the C:\advanced folder open, we type sample2.clp in the file name line. We press Enter and save our bitmap as a CLP file. Now we close the clipboard viewer. Let's confirm we saved our CLP files by restarting Windows 95. We press and hold the Control and Alt keys. Then we press Delete. We release the Control and Alt keys. We see the Advanced and Explorer windows listed in the Close Program box. We choose Shutdown and see the Please Wait screen. When we see the You can now safely turn off your computer message, we press Control plus Alt plus Delete. Windows 95 restarts. We see our Minimized Advanced button on the taskbar. Windows 95 remembered we minimized it earlier. Let's open the clipboard viewer. We choose the Start button. We highlight Programs, then Accessories. We choose Clipboard Viewer. Let's open our sample bitmap file. We choose File, then Open. We change to the Advanced subdirectory. We double-click SAMP2 and see our bitmap. Now we close the clipboard viewer.
We can use the phone dialer to dial a number from Windows 95. We can store frequently used numbers too.
We choose the Start button. We highlight Programs, then Accessories. Now we select Phone Dialer. We place the numbers in the Number to Dial line by clicking the phone pad buttons. We choose the Dial button and see the Call Status box. When we hear the phone ring, we lift the telephone receiver, then click the Talk button. We're talking to the communications director, so we type his name in the Name to Place line. We're finished with the call, so we choose the Hang Up button. Let's use the speed dialer. We place the pointer on the gray button to the right of 1. We click and see the program speed dial box. We enter the communication director's name and number. We're finished, so we choose Save and return to the phone dialer. Let's call the communication director again and use speed dial. We click the gray button and see the call status box. We choose the hang up button. Let's view the phone dialer log. We select Tools, then Show Log. We see our call. Let's delete the call from our log. We highlight the call, then we choose Edit, then Delete. Now we close the call log window.
You may pause the tape now to practice on your computer. Let's review what we've covered in this chapter. We opened WordPad. We explained the WordPad window.
We inserted the current date and time into our document. We placed a copy of our document into the clipboard.
We used the clipboard viewer. Then we saved the clipboard contents to a file.
We placed a graphic into the clipboard. We opened Phone Dialer, then dialed a number. Then we created a speed dial button.
Finally, we viewed the dialer log. Windows 95 includes tools we can use to maintain a trouble-free system. One of these system tools is the disk defragmenter.
When we periodically perform housekeeping, such as creating and deleting files, our hard drive will fragment.
Keep in mind, fragmentation does not stop DOS from storing files, but it does slow down the hard drive.
Using the disk defragmenter can increase an application's start time. Also, we can speed up our hard drive's read and write time. We choose the Start button. We highlight Programs, then Accessories, then System Tools. We highlight Disk Defragmenter, then select it. At the Select Drive box, we can defragment our hard drive or a floppy in the A drive. Let's defragment our learning disk. We place the disk in the A drive. We choose OK, and defragmenter checks our floppy disk. We don't need to defragment it now, so we select Exit and return to the desktop. It's a good idea to occasionally back up our important files. Windows 95 makes it easy to back up a hard drive, tape drive, or floppies.
Let's use backup and save our learning disk files onto a floppy. If you want to try this exercise with us, you need at least one 720K floppy disk.
We display the System Tools menu. We select Backup and see the Welcome to Microsoft Backup screen. We remove it by choosing OK. We see a backup message box. By default, Backup automatically creates a full system file set for your system. Once you use this file set to back up your system, you can restore your system if your hard drive crashes. We don't want to back up our hard drive now, so we close this box by selecting OK. We see another message. Windows 95 did not detect a tape drive in our system, so we do not have one. However, if you have a tape drive and you see this message in backup, you need to follow the steps outlined in this box before you proceed. We close the box by choosing OK and see the backup window. Let's back up our learning disk files. We need to determine the size of our files, so let's open the Advanced folder. We double-click the C icon. We double-click the Advanced folder and see its files. Now let's choose the files we want to back up. We click the box in front of each file and display a check mark. Each time we select a file, we see how many files we choose and their total size on the status bar. With all of our files selected, We need enough blank floppies with a little over 3,200 kilobytes space on them. Let's reduce the kilobytes by deselecting some files. Usually, bitmap files use a lot of space, so we remove the check mark in front of the sample2.clp file. Now our files total a little over 600 kilobytes. We can easily fit all of our files on one low-density 3.5-inch floppy. We insert a blank formatted floppy disk into the proper drive. We choose the Next Step button. Let's select a destination drive. We click the 3.5 floppy icon. Then we choose the Start Backup button and see the Backup Set label. When we create a backup, Windows 95 places any folders and files into one large file. A backup set label is the name of that large file. In the backup set line, we type Tutorial. Let's protect our set by assigning a password to it. We choose the Password Protect button and see the box. We can use up to 8 characters as a password. In the Enter Password line, we type Windows in all lowercase. We press Tab and move to the Confirm Password line. We type Windows again. We press Enter and return to the Backup Set Label box. We choose OK, and we see our files backed up. We choose OK and remove the Operation Complete message box. On the status bar, we see that backup found no errors in our files. So we choose OK and return to the backup window. With Windows 95, it's just as easy to restore our folders and files as it is to back them up. Let's restore the WordPad sample file. At the Microsoft Backup window, we choose the Restore tab. Let's display our backup set by clicking the floppy A icon. And we see our tutorial set in the backup set list. We highlight Tutorial. We choose the Next Step button and see the Password Protected box. At the Enter Password line, we type Windows. Then we press Enter. Now we need to select the file we want to restore from the backup set. We double-click the C folder in the Contents window. Then we double-click the Advanced folder, and we see our backed up files. We place a check mark in front of the WordPad sample. Now we choose the Start Restore button and see our file restored. We remove the Operation Complete box by choosing OK. Then we close the Restore window by selecting OK again. Now we close the Microsoft Backup window and return to the desktop. Now let's exit Windows 95. We remove the floppy disk from the drive. We display the Start menu. Then we choose Shutdown. At the Shutdown windows, we select the Yes button. Now we see the Please Wait screen. When we see the You can now safely turn off your computer message, we turn the computer off. Let's review what we covered in this chapter. We discussed the Disk Defragmenter System tool.
We created a backup set label.
We assigned a password to our set. We restored a file. That review concludes this video tutorial, learning Windows 95 Advanced.
We've covered a lot of information in this tutorial. If you feel the need to review, simply rewind and watch that section again until you're comfortable with the material.
We at VIA Graphics would like to thank you for choosing our company for your computer training needs.
Remember, if you plan to learn Windows 95 or any other computer software, there's no better way than through video training with VIA Graphics.